Okay, for today's guided drawing, we are going to try and draw Pigeon from the book we just read called Pigeon Has to Go to School. So here is another book that we've read before. This one was Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. But this is the guy we're going to try and draw. And he's not too hard. So I'll try to go slow so that we can all do it together. So you will need a piece of paper, or you could work in your art book, and then one pencil. We need to remember when we draw with our pencil not to push too hard at first so that we can erase it easily if we need to. You're going to notice that I'm using a marker, and that's only because when I tried it with pencil, it was very hard to see on the computer. So what we're going to do is start up in the corner, and we're going to make a circle. We need to make sure there's room over here because that's where his beak is going to go. So we're going to make one circle, and then we need to do his eye next. And if you remember Pigeon, and here's Pigeon again, he has a very big eye. So we're going to draw a pretty big eye here for him. Okay, and it almost looks like we've got a donut shape, except it's a little bit thinner over here and a little bit bigger at the bottom. The next part we want to do is draw his pupil. So the black part of his eye, and it can go on any part of his eye. It kind of depends on how you want the pigeon to feel. So on this one, I'm going to draw his eye, so he's kind of looking in this direction. And then you would fill it all in. Okay, there are different ways you could draw his eye though. So I'm just going to draw a couple heads over here with some eyes inside. You don't need to copy this part. This is just for you to decide how you want his eye to look. So you could have his eye partly closed like this, so it kind of looks like he's blinking a little. When he's feeling grumpy, we often see his eye look like this. And sometimes it even has those little lines above his head. He could be happy but maybe blinking or even sleepy, and his eye might look like that. And sometimes when he's feeling really frustrated, usually his mouth is open because he's being really loud, but you'll see his eye look kind of like this, like in this picture. So you can decide which of these 4 different eyes you want to do, okay? So now we've got his head and his eye in, whichever eye you wanted, and we're going to do his beak. So you could do his beak with his mouth open, or you could do it with his mouth closed. So for this one, I'm going to do it with his mouth closed. So it's like making a triangle, only it's a little bit curved at the edge, and then his bottom part of his beak doesn't start right at the end. It starts part way down, and it joins back into his head. Okay, now for our easy part, we're going to do his neck. And his neck is super easy because it's just 2 lines down. So we do 1, 2, and then our pigeon has a collar. So he's got 2 lines that go across, like this. The next part is probably the trickiest part for us to draw. And it's kind of like a teardrop shape. So we're going to do his body, and what I'm going to do is kind of go around like this, and then I come up and over. So you could even do the back part first, which is what I'll do. So I'm going to come over for his back, and I'm going to stop there, and then I'm going to do his tummy. So it goes around a little bit, and then it's going to come up to join at the back. Okay? So our next step is to do his feet. So we need 2 lines again. And then at the bottom, we're going to do 3 little lines joining from the very end. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for his feet. And then our very last step is to draw his wing. So I'm going to do almost the same as I have for his back here. A little bit of a line over, and almost the same shape as his tummy here. And I'm going to go like this. So they don't quite join. And then that's the rest of the way to draw the pigeon. So when you're finished, you can color in your pigeon. In most of our books, he is usually blue with a white collar and a yellow beak, but you can kind of make your pigeon however you want. In most of the books, there's not a lot of background. It's mostly just the pigeon with the writing, but you can add any kind of details that you would like to your picture.